This is the Little Trout Misquah portage. This is the Misquah end. This portage has a reputation and it is well deserved. I'm going back to go get my heavy pack. This portage has really steep elevation changes, mud, rocks, boulder fields. It has about everything you could imagine in a portage. Yeah, at one point I had to duck underneath a tree with a canoe. That's not an easy task. The mud field is really deep. I did slip in at one point. I was trying to walk around it, but I slipped in and pretty much went up to my knee. I have no idea how deep it actually is, since I was able to catch myself. So, there's a lot going on here. The Misquah end, as you can see right now, as you get really close to it, it's not too bad. But it was, took me just over 20 minutes to walk it with a canoe. And it was a pretty strenuous 20 minutes. Now that's saying something, since the canoe doesn't weigh very much. That's a 27-pound canoe. I would guess with everything that I'm carrying, it's around 40 pounds. All told. I'm not looking forward to carrying my pack, since that's probably 60 or 70 pounds. With my clothes and food and cooking gear. I left the fishing gear at home this time, because I'm just basically traveling all day, every day. I had to take this one pretty slowly with any sort of load on me. It is about 200 rods, at least the map I have says 198. About 2/3 of a mile of ups and downs and mud and boulders and rocks. Here's where we start getting to the part where I have to be careful. I wear boots that have some good ankle support, and I make sure my boots have ankle supports because I've sprained my ankle a lot of times in my life. So that's very important to me. Especially on solo trips where one wrong move can really put me in a bind. The steepest part is right at the Little Trout end. There's something to be said for switchbacks. This portage might need a few. but the trail goes straight up the mountain. We're pretty much in the Misquah Hills, which is a, well, it's in the name, hilly section of the Boundary Waters. I'd have to look at a different map, but it looks like this might be part of the blowdown area. I don't think there was a fire through here. At least I'm not seeing anything that would be indicative of a fire. You can see we left the forest and now I've entered a aspen birch forest. And there's no large trees in vast sections of parts of this portage. So I'd have to look at a map, but I would guess that this was part of the 99 blowdown. Maybe it's later. As aspen grow, at least in ideal conditions, 5 feet a year, and these, that was 20 years ago. 25 years ago. Oh, time flies. All right, here's a muddy section. This is where I slipped in. You can see right next to my boot there, that's where I slipped in and went in up to my knee. A lot easier to avoid without a canoe. The canoe doesn't, I mean, it's long, so I can only do so much maneuvering. Basically, with the canoe, I had to go straight down the middle of this, because there wasn't enough room on the sides to fit the canoe through the tree branches. And here's one of the boulder fields. Not an easy trail by any means here. Well, on Little Trout, I saw my first people of the day. There are 3 campsites on Little Trout, and 2 of them were taken. I think a lot of people that enter at Ram end up at Little Trout because, well, this portage is a doozy. So that probably stops a lot of people. This puddle is actually really deep. With the canoe, I had to go right through it because I couldn't step around it. All right, and now we start climbing. Ram Lake only has 1 permit per day. I was expecting to see some people on Ram, but there weren't. all the people were on little trout. The permits for the past couple of days were taken for ram, so I was expecting to see somebody at some point. Whew. This is a workout even without a pack. Alright, now we're to some type of blowdown area. Must mean I'm getting close to little trout. Maybe this was 99. How tall are those trees? They're all aspen, so that might be 25 years of growth right there. We had a tornado hit our house. Well, what year was that? Was that 3 years ago? Something like that. 3 years ago, and knocked down 3 acres of our forest, and we had to have that mulched and ground up, and so it was just a field of mulch basically. And we thought it'd take a while for things to grow back. Well, lo and behold, aspen are pretty good at growing back, and they do it quickly. So last year we saw basically the first growth, and this year the aspen are already over my head, so they grow very fast. What I've read, it's 5 feet per year until they reach maturity, which is 40 or 50 feet tall. I don't know if they slow down at any point during there, but I can say for sure the 5 feet per year, at least in the initial few years, seems accurate. Alright, this boardwalk is pretty nice. Don't know why they didn't put it on the other mud. Alright. It's not as deeper than it looks. Doesn't seem so bad without a pack. Oh, no, maybe it does. That's a steep portion. The problem with this portage is even the flat parts are rocky, and so you can't just walk. You have to rock hop and watch your footing. There's little trout. You can see there's a long ways to go down between here and there. I had trouble finding the entrance to the portage on the little trout side. I don't know why. Well, the landing is a boulder field, and when I passed it, I thought it was the mouth of a creek, so I kept going, and then there are all sorts of openings along the shore. They are all moose trails, but they all looked like, well, maybe that could be the portage. Nope. And so I landed and walked along the shore trying to find it, and then lo and behold, it was the boulder field. Wow, that's quite a view. I didn't see this the first time. I didn't look back. That's a nice view. And that's what's in store for me here. Have to get down and then back up. So if you're looking for the portage on the little trout side, look for a boulder field. It's just around the corner from the campsite. Footing is a bit tricky here, so very careful. Ugh. All right, almost back. Tricky in here too. So here's the landing. The landing is okay, it's just the boulders and trying to get over them. It's not the easiest, but alright, well, I'm going to be really tired by the time I get to the other side. Carrying this pack. Otherwise, I think I'll snap a photo at the top there of that nice view. GoPro, stop recording.